A United Nations rapporteur is a person appointed by the United Nations to investigate and report on a specific issue. South African doctor Talaleng Mofokeng is the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the right to health in Palestine. Towards the end of October, she started to use the word medicide to describe Israel's relentless targeted attack on healthcare and healthcare infrastructure. Homicide, the deliberate death of a person; medicide, the deliberate destruction of a healthcare infrastructure. Her statement included the following: all of us continue to bear witness to the very practice of medicine being under attack. She emphasised that the right to health had become untenable amid relentless violence by Israel. Dr. Helen McHugh is a former United Nations consultant who worked in the Middle East with refugees and displaced people groups. On October the 31st, an article of hers was published entitled Medicide: The Killing Fields of Gaza. At the start of the article, she wrote this: how much longer are the world's leaders going to stand by and watch children being shredded to bits? Arrested, detained and tortured Hospitals destroyed, schools bombed, the environment destroyed, humanitarian aid denied, and a genocide committed in Gaza. Do we have to remind our leaders again and again that this is real, not some fictional, dark, dystopian event? This is Israel, this is her word still, this is Israel violating every United Nations humanitarian rule and rule of war in an ongoing apocalyptic genocide and telling the world that they can do as they like, no rules apply here. The article continues. A commission of the United Nations Human Rights Council in a report on October the 10th found that Israel has implemented a deliberate policy to destroy Gaza's healthcare system. Miriam Francois is a British journalist, documentary maker and writer. In an Instagram post this week, she said the following: "What Israel has done is create the basis for the acceptance of the targeting of medical workers and journalists. We can no longer, as an international community, hold any other government in the world accountable, because it would be very simple for them to turn around, or any militia group, by the way, they can just turn around and say, what do you mean? We're actually targeting less journalists and health workers than you just allowed Israel to do with foot backing."
On this march, anyone who wants to express solidarity with the Palestinian people and their resistance, anyone who stands opposed to this Labour government support genocide is welcome to speak on our mic for as long as they like, Israel like their life. Free, free! Free, free!
And so now we're seeing that being replicated again in Lebanon. Because we didn't stop it in Gaza, it's now being done again in Lebanon. What Israel has done is create the basis for the acceptance of the targeting of medical workers and journalists. On October the 5th, the heightened attacks and tightened siege of northern Gaza began. The civilian population in the north was ordered to evacuate. But it's estimated that about 400,000 people could not or would not evacuate, recognising they had no safe place to go, and we fear for their lives. The 3 hospitals in the north have been attacked repeatedly. The Indonesian hospital, the Al-Auda hospital and the Kamal Adwan hospital. During the attack on the Kamal Adwan hospital, a group of male medical staff members were forced to strip to their underwear, handcuffed and taken away either for interrogation or forced to go south. The director of Kamal Adwan Hospital, Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, remains at the hospital. One day whilst he was on duty, his teenage son Ibrahim was brought in, killed by shrapnel wounds. His body brought in while his dad was on duty. The director allowed himself a few moments to grieve and returned to the care of his patients. The only orthopaedic and reconstruction surgeon remaining in the north, Dr. Mohammed Obeid, a Médecins Sans Frontières doctor, was abducted from Al-Awda Hospital, his whereabouts and welfare unknown. The Israeli army state he is a Hamas militant, providing no evidence, their usual propaganda ploy to justify abduction and killing. Dr. Ahmad Al-Manam was abducted and detained for 10 days. On his release, as he walked away from his place of detention, he was shot in the back by an Israeli soldier. That's murder. Just over a month ago, the non-governmental organisation Healthcare Workers Watch published a document entitled "The Killing, Detention and Torture of Healthcare Workers in Gaza." It lists 587 health workers whose deaths have been verified. The deaths of another 420 are being checked. As of September the 20th, there are 264 known cases of unlawful detention of healthcare workers, abducted, held without charge or trial. Isn't this the same as hostages? And 4 doctors known to have died whilst in detention with allegations of torture. We must keep contrasting this with the state of the healthcare system in Israel. Each life is important, whatever nationality. But 7 to 10 Israeli healthcare workers are reported to have been killed on October the 7th. There have not been any reports, as far as I am aware, of any further deaths of Israeli healthcare workers. 587 Palestinian healthcare workers killed. Regarding detentions, I don't know if any of the Israeli hostages are medical staff. All hostages and detainees abducted and held without charge or trial, whether Israeli or Palestinian, must be released. Their abduction and persisting detention is a war crime. But all of Israel's healthcare infrastructure is completely intact. All medical services in Israel are functioning unimpeded, fully stocked, fully staffed, and providing high quality care to all who need it in undamaged, structurally intact hospitals. The healthcare system in Gaza is borderline non-functional and on its knees, and it's a disgrace and complete shame. The only last thing I want to say is you guys are amazing coming out every week. But does your MP know you're here? Does Keir Starmer know you're here? Okay. Does David Lammy know you're here?
Liverpool City Council do.
I'm sure. John Healey, the Defence Secretary. All I'm saying is one of the most important things for me is if you feel that something's important enough to put a post about it on social media, it's important enough to tell somebody in authority, I do not agree with this. That's all you need is a line. I go to a march every week at Liverpool. I am completely against such and such, and please do such and such. 3 lines. Let them know you're still here. Shame the lot of them. Don't let them think that nobody knows what's going on. Shame them and keep writing.